Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
And we are back, man. Episode 363.
Yes, sir.
Before we get into it, it is Keith's birthday.
Yeah, right? Man.
Happy birthday to Keith. That's all we got for him, man. We got to talk. We got to get into the topics here. All right? No time for charades.
Yeah, we'll reflect on that at the end.
Keith is 33, the exact same age I was when we started podcasting.
Damn, that's crazy.
That is the relevance to, when I was 33, that's when I first started podcasting. I will be 40 next week. Next Saturday.
Dang.
It's crazy, man. This has been quite the fucking journey, man. Every week since we started, here we are. Keith's 33.
Thugging it out.
I'm turning 40, man. Mm-hmm. Wild. All right, let's get right into it. Medium ugly. All right, this is something I've heard a lot of women talk about, man, and it's quite hilarious how they describe it. Now, before we hear this audio clip from Glorilla, I'll give a little context, verbally. It says, "What is medium ugly? Medium ugly is good looking enough, not too good looking. They are goofy looking. In fact, their personality makes them more attractive. People like you, some females, think you are fine as fuck, but you're still ugly enough to remain humble. Your personality is your strongest asset." That's basically what the Urban Dictionary explanation to what medium ugly means. But go ahead, Keith, and run that clip from Glorilla.
All right.
I can get dick anytime I want. Baby, that shit ain't nothing. Topic of all these nigga discussion. But ain't none of them fucked me. Like my niggas, tall and brown. What else? And mixed with a little bit of ugly. They say shoot. Duke Dennis, what's up?
Those two lines are separate though, right? Like the two lines is separate. Like you weren't talking about me. You weren't talking about me. I think it was just like it was like uh-huhs in between. It was uh-huhs in between. So like it was just like it was two different balls and like two different people. Like,
all right, we get an idea. All right, so what Glorilla did basically was, write a verse about, her being attracted to Duke Dennis, but indirectly said she liked her niggas tall and grand with a little bit of ugly. And then she said, "Duke Dennis, what's up with you?" I think women need to stop insulting us and acting like that shit's a compliment. That's just my thing. Because we can't call you medium fat. We can't call you medium ugly. Mm-hmm. That shit ain't gonna fly. Women, I don't think your egos will allow you to do it. And men and women both have egos. I just think that sometimes women forget that men are human beings. Mm-hmm. And as funny as this medium ugly shit is, if you don't find me handsome, that's cool. Just leave me alone. Mm-hmm. And if you do view me as medium ugly, just don't mention it. Don't say it. It's not a compliment, man. Mm-hmm. It's genuinely not a compliment. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because then here's the problem. A woman will call you medium ugly like, "Babe, I love you. You're medium ugly. And it's fine. I like my guys medium ugly." And then they'll giggle and just skip away. Right? Women will call you medium ugly and do a cartwheel, right? But then Chris Brown comes across the screen. They're like, "Oh my God, he is so fine. Oh my God, like the thing. Oh my, I just always had something for Jason Momoa." And it's like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you could have all this admiration for these dudes, but you just call me medium ugly? If you don't find me handsome, just shut the fuck up. Don't say anything. That's like I like my girls dumb as fuck with some big old titties. Mariah Carey, what's up with you?
Dang. Call Mariah dumb?
Yeah, I can't get away with that.
That's crazy.
That ain't gonna fly good.
Yeah, I think one thing I would say, I don't know if these conversations are happening in person. I think a lot of this is just like social media stuff. But I do agree with you. I think that you can't really compliment somebody by calling them ugly.
No.
But I heard they were talking about this on the Breakfast Club, and I heard I think Lauren LaRosa, I think she was the one explaining it.
Yeah.
I think what the way she described it, and I'm not saying this is what every woman thinks, but the way she described it was like I like there's certain men that are like pretty,
too pretty.
Yeah, and they were saying like I don't necessarily like men that are like pretty. I like them to have like a little bit more like masculine features. So that's kind of what she was saying, like having a little bit of ugly in there. So I don't know if that's every woman's like version of medium ugly.
Right.
But yeah, it's not nobody even like with Duke Dennis, you could tell he was kind of like, I don't think he was offended or anything, but he was just kind of like, dang, like like you like me, but I'm like, I'm a little bit ugly. Like that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what happens with women is the conversations you have amongst yourselves, you think that shit's gonna fly when you're talking to a guy. And we're just like, what are you even talking about? Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, for reals, he is medium ugly, girl, and I love that about him. Like, he is so medium ugly. Like, it just makes things easier on our relationship. And then you come to your man with it, like, I've always loved the fact that you're medium ugly. And then your man gonna be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
What do you mean medium ugly?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we was like, yeah, you a hella cool person, you got a good heart, you got fat arms, but you got a beautiful heart.
Yeah.
Your arms is real fat, but it never mattered that your arms was fat because your personality was so fire that I never worried about how your arms was big like that.
Nah, dudes do that.
In what ways?
Dudes do it when the girl, she got like a fat booty, but her face is kind of like, her face ain't all there. Niggas will for sure have that conversation. Like,
not with her though.
No, they not telling her. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if.
Yeah.
I have never heard a girl say this to a guy, but definitely in conversations amongst guys.
They
like,
call her butterface or some shit like that. I've heard that.
Butterface for sure.
But even a dude that's a dickhead that will do that, we still not much of a dickhead to be like, yeah, you a butterface, but I fuck with you though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some bold shit.
Yeah.
You women, you ladies are so bold. I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. I think that there was one girl that I seen.
Ludacris said it in a song. I had to look it up. Don't quote me.
Ludacris has some legendary sayings or what was that song? Use a hoe. He's like, you doing hoe activities with hoe tendencies. Hoes are your friends. Hoes are your enemies. You ever seen a hoe? He said, you ever take a hoe to a hotel? Oh, well.
Yeah.
That shit killed me. He said, hoes are your friends. Hoes are your enemies. Mm-hmm. Nah, man. But yeah, look, ladies, if you feel that way, go ahead. Just be careful when you tell guys stuff like that. I don't think even if we're not offended, we don't take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
That's the only pushback. There was one woman that said that she liked dudes like a little bit ugly because they'd be more humble. She said, this is what she said. This is what she said literally. I don't say word for word, but this is what she said basically. Mm-hmm. She said, I don't want dudes that's too pretty because they got way too many options and I don't like that. Like girls that got like if the dude too pretty and he got too many options, I'm cool. I need to be with a dude that like some girls fuck with him but not enough. Mm-hmm. Like so he could be more humble. And I'm like, dang. Sounds like you don't like competition, lady.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I don't understand like settling just because
that's wild.
You're afraid of your man cheating.
That's wild.
I think that's a crazy generalization.
And also, let me be clear too. If a woman meets a dude that's not that handsome, like let's say he's just very average looking at best, but he's a great guy, you didn't settle. You won, stupid. Mm-hmm. You found a man that was respectful that's not running around chasing pussy. It's no different than a dude that's dating a woman that's what we would call a conventionally attractive woman. She's like a 10, small waist, pretty face, fat booty, all of that, right? But she treats him terribly. And then he gets rid of her. And he finds a woman that's on the bigger side, but she's amazing. She's smart. She's funny. She's decent. All those things. If she a big girl and she's kind to you, nigga, you upgraded. You didn't go down. Yeah. Just because she's not more conventionally attractive than the last woman that you dated. You won if you got a woman that's treating you right and actually respects you. You upgraded. You know how many women I've seen where a dude broke up with her or whatever the case, and then now he with a girl that's like a little bigger or not as attractive, and I'd be like, oh, you left me for that? He downgraded. It's like, you don't know how that man is being treated. Mm-hmm. He might be getting treated amazing by that woman. Mm-hmm. But I just think like I've mentioned before many times, we have such an obsession with vanity, like such an obsession with it that we tend to our judgment is off, man. Mm-hmm. It's off. So yeah, go ahead, man. Just keep calling us medium ugly and see how that works out for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't really have much else to say about that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Ain't much to say about it, man. It's not a topic to dive into too deeply. Mm-hmm. I just think like, hey, man, yeah, just keep calling us medium ugly and see how it works out for you. Mm-hmm. All right. Switching gears. Legendary actor Gene Hackman, his wife and dog are found dead in New Mexico home. So all three of them dead. Yeah, this is more than just people dying. This is fucking weird. Legendary Hollywood actor Gene Hackman has been found in his Santa Fe, New Mexico home alongside his wife and their dog. Man, these damn pop-ups, son of a bitch. Okay. Santa Fe County Police discovered the body of the two-time Oscar-winning 95 and 65-year-old woman, pianist Betsy Akawa, his wife of 34 years, on Wednesday afternoon. Santa Fe County Sheriff Aiden Mendoza confirmed. She was way younger than him.
That is. I mean, 90 and 60 is okay, but when they met, it was like 30 and 60.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
That's super old.
I can imagine myself dating a 60-year-old. That sounds crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. I forgot that chick's name that's on American Horror Story. She's dating like an old woman.
Ooh.
I forgot her fucking name, dude. She's on American Horror Story. Her girlfriend is like an old woman, dude.
Yeah, they got it.
It's weird. It's the old. It might be the oldest lesbian couple. It's wild, yo. But yeah, this is what I got to say about this. I just think it's weird, and the people are, coming up with all these conspiracy theories. I don't think it's much of a conspiracy. It's kind of cut dry. I think you could call it foul play. In my opinion, I don't know if a 95-year-old will be able to have this masterful idea to say, hey, I want to take out my wife and dog at the same time because I'm tired of this. I'm sick and I'm old. Mm-hmm. There's a possibility if anybody is at fault for this, it's got to be his wife. I think that she would be the one to have the best cognitive ability to come up with a plan to end everything for everyone at that same time. Maybe Gene Hackman was terminally ill and he was already 95 years old, and maybe she couldn't imagine her life without Gene Hackman, right? Mm-hmm. It's no different than that scene on that show, The Last of Us, where that gay couple, dude was dying of cancer, and his partner was like, he was supposed to take the pill on his own for him, like it was like poison or something. Mm-hmm. And he ended up taking it with him, and they went in the room and died together. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that sometimes in real life, people do things like this. Mm-hmm. My biggest issue is this. Why you got to kill the dog? Like, the dog ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Mm-hmm. It was really selfish, man. Mm-hmm. But maybe it was like from the idea of like, when we die, I don't want our dog to be scared for us and this and that, so we have to kill him. You could have just took the dog and let him run free.
Yeah. You
could have took the dog out into the city somewhere, let him out the car, and just drove off. Mm-hmm. But you had to kill the dog. I bet you the dog was like, oh, goddamn, she poisoned me. Fuck. I wonder if the dog is responsible for this. How smart was that fucking dog? These rich dogs, they got, hey man, some of these, you ever seen how smart these service dogs are? Mm-hmm. There was a lady that has these fainting episodes, and I just seen this video, and she has a service dog, and the dog can sense when she's about to faint because it can sense her like her heart rate, mm-hmm. and I guess, I don't know how dogs do it. They just can sense things before they happen.
Yeah.
So the dog jumped on her, basically like cueing her to sit on the floor. So she sits down, and you can tell she's starting to get a little weaker. Then the dog went, opened up the refrigerator, pulled out a water bottle, closed the refrigerator, gave her the bottle, and he was looking around for her medication, jumped on the counter, got the medication, gave it to her. She opened it, took the pill, drank the water, and then the dog started pushing her down so she could lay all the way down and get her heart rate down. Mm-hmm. I just seen this like yesterday.
Yeah, those service dogs are smart. They can sense like seizures and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people that have service
So what
dogs.
I'm getting at is they need to investigate this dog.
Mm-hmm.
Was the dog involved in foul play? Okay. Don't let Scooby-Doo fool you. Okay. All these dogs ain't running around eating Scooby-Doo sandwiches and snacks, and they may have the potential to harm innocent people. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're looking into it, and maybe this is a satirical take, and maybe I'm serious. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on here. I gotta wait till more information comes out. Everything I read, they loved each other. They had a peaceful life, and yeah, it just from the optics though, like the pills and them all three passing away. I think it could be one of those situations where, like you said, they might have planned it out. Like Gene Hackman could have been just very sick, and then his wife is like, I don't want to live without you. And then the thing about it though, like knowing dogs and how dogs get so emotionally attached to their owners, that could be a thing where low key that could be suffering for the dog. Like if both of his owners pass away, and then he's just kind of like, left to pick up the pieces somewhere else or go to a new family, or maybe a what do you call that? Like a dog pound or something like that.
Yeah, I just don't. I think rich people they got a friend they could call in their area and say, hey, we got to head out here. Can you watch our dog? Like, oh, it'd be my pleasure. I love Sparky. He's amazing. Drop him off.
Nah. When they don't even live, they live so secluded.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I'm sure that you could dog sit, of course, but
Absolutely.
I'm just talking about in terms of like missing their owner. Like that stuff could, dogs, they just get very attached. So I could see how that if they just all wanted to go out.
And dogs do remember you, bro. They do, and they do hurt. Because I remember I had in college I had some roommates, and it was hella dogs, and it was a big house, but there was 4 dogs. There was this little wiener dog. He was an asshole. His name was Felix. And then there was a golden retriever. His name was Norman. And then it was Mia, and Mia was like a black lab, and she was so cool. I loved Mia. Mia was the only dog that like I vibed with. All the other dogs, I didn't fuck with those dogs. There was another dog that was there, but it's kind of like just a little mutt, right? Mia was the only one I let in my room and shit, and I would give her like a snack. She would just sit there chilling, just a chill ass dog, right? And then I moved out, and then I came back like 3.5 weeks later or something, because I left some stuff over there. And when I went there, Mia came out the dog thing, and she was going crazy. She was like, oh. And I was like, dang, this dog really loved me, man. So, you could imagine when you leave a dog for so long, they don't just like forget.
For sure.
They got your scent down. Dogs never forget how you treat them too, You ever seen, okay, here's a case in point. Have you ever seen those videos of guys that go to Iraq, or they serve a tour in Iraq, or they're gone in the military for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and they come back home, and then the dog is like sniffing them out, and they're like, the dog is like,
just crying, is uncontrollable.
Yeah, you could be gone for like 6-7 years, and then the dog will be going nuts, and it's like, dogs don't forget, bro.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? Imagine this though. This got to be fucked up. Imagine you got a childhood dog, right? And before you went to wherever, military, whatever, you used to play with the dog and shit, and then you left, and then you gained like 200 pounds. And you just so big that like even the dog smell you, he just smell food. He don't even remember you no more. You don't remember me, Sparky? Come on, Dad.
Barking at you.
You got a different voice now because you didn't gain all that weight. Come on, man. You don't remember me? Come on, Sparky, man. Come on, man. You want to play? Nigga, you walking around smelling like a Little Caesars hot and ready, and the dog is like, where's the food? Nigga, fuck all this conversation.
Nah, the dog would go grab the leash. Be like, roof, roof, roof. That translates to, nigga, let's go on a walk. You need it.
Dog taking you on a walk? Dog telling you to put the leash on? God damn. That's fucked up. That sounds like a stand-up joke. Like, you fat when your dog put the leash on you to go on a walk. God damn.
That's hilarious.
Man. Yeah, but I be seeing like because this Gene Hackman stuff, it's not a whole lot here. It's not. They found
It's
some.
so fresh.
It's so fresh. They found some pills, but I mean, there was no real context of what the pills were, and I assume because Gene Hackman was 95, he may have had health issues, and and elderly people do take medication.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty awesome dog stories recently, though. There was this one girl, and she posted her dog, and it was she was like a little girl, and she had her like a pit bull, and then she got into junior high. She still had the pit bull. Then she was in college. She still had the pit bull, and then she graduated from college. She still had that pit bull. Then she fucking got a house, and she still had that pit bull, and the dog got so old that she put him on a stroller and would like walk around. And then I think she ended up pregnant, and then the dog passed.
Dang.
I'm like, nigga, do you know how bad that hurts? I love dogs, but that's one of the main reasons why I can't get one, bro. I would be devastated if I've had this dog since I was in fucking junior high, and now I'm a grown ass adult that's buying a house or starting a family, and my dog dies. Oh man, I'll be so sick.
Yeah, that's one thing about having a dog is you're always going to outlive it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, more times than not. Yeah, you're probably gonna outlive your dog.
Yeah, I seen this one video too of this dude that loved this dog. He went everywhere with his dog, but he ended up passing away. And when at the funeral service, the dog went up to like the casket. It was just like, ooh, I gotta
That's sad,
I gotta get off this TikTok, man. I gotta get off of this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dog went up to the casket, started howling, nigga. I'm like, golly.
Yeah. Man, that's tough.
That's how you know you need to turn when it's like. Sometimes you could do, what do you call it? You just stroll, what do you call it? Death strolling?
Like a wormhole.
Yeah, you get the wormhole and it'd be like 1 a.m. It's like, nigga, I'm not about to cry over a dog video at 1 in the morning. I got to turn this shit off and go to bed.
Yeah.
It used to be a video that popped up with this black woman. He'd be like, are you still scrolling on here?
I never seen that.
When you scroll enough on TikTok, that black woman gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Are you still scrolling?
It's an ad?
Yeah, it's an ad. But TikTok, I haven't seen it in a minute. But you scroll enough, it's this black girl to pop up. Are you still scrolling again? Relax your mind. Get ready for bed. Like it's like she coaching you to turn the phone off, nigga.
That's crazy.
I'm like, yeah. And I would be looking at it like, maybe I should turn it. And then I swipe up one more time and it'd be a fire ass video. You'd be like, TikTok. You won again, guys.
Yeah, their algorithm is crazy. That is crazy also that they have that on there when they're trying to promote people getting off of the app, which is crazy too.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, the app, it seems like it's not like it's way different, but I've gotten too many community violations, man.
Oh, you getting some too?
Community guidelines. I'll say something like positive. I'll be like, man, keep doing your thing. You look great or whatever. Like it'll be somebody that went through like a workout transformation. They was like 400 pounds. Now they like 200 pounds. You're like, man, you're killing it. Keep doing your thing. Community guidelines.
Yeah, that's trash. I think TikTok, Instagram also, they be having like weird things going on where people be losing their accounts for no reason.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up.
Especially when there's so much like sexual stuff on these things.
It's way too much sexual
and
shit.
People are keeping their, people aren't losing their. I would say some of those people do lose their accounts too. But yeah, then they just get another one and build it back up to 100,000, followers or whatever. So yeah, they gotta do something. I think they need real people. That's the thing that I would change. Like, I wish that if you did, like, say you got somebody's thing violated a thing and then they took your account away, at least hire like some dude in India or the Philippines or something like that so you could get on the phone and just talk about the content, like, and they can go through your page and be like, okay, yeah, this is what happened when you posted this was actually like a discriminatory statement, and then blah blah blah, like, at least so you could talk to somebody versus like sending an email and then and then them never responding to your email or responding with an automated, response or something like that. So that's the only thing I would say.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's that, man. Let's go ahead and move on. I don't got too much else to say about Gene Hackman. He was a hell of a fucking actor, though.
Yeah.
Hell of an actor.
Oscars?
Yeah. It's just crazy. It's like time flies. He didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah. Gene Hackman. I heard you like him young.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's wild. All right, switching gears. Man pardoned for January 6th crime feared returning to jail before deputy killed him in traffic stop. So one of the guys involved in the insurrection was pardoned, and this motherfucker went out and committed another crime. All right. A special prosecutor said that the shooting was legally justified, and Matthew Huddle, who had threatened to shoot himself, was found to have loaded gun in his car. An Indiana man who stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, had recently been pardoned by President Donald Trump, told authorities that he couldn't afford to be in legal trouble just before the sheriff deputy fatally shot him during the traffic stop. Last month, body camera video released Thursday showed a special prosecutor said that Jasper County Sheriff deputy was legally justified in the shooting of Matthew Huddle, 42. He ran to his vehicle, said he would shoot himself, and raised the handgun after he was told he was under arrest for traffic-related felony. And the deputy shot him after a struggle. Special prosecutor Chris Waters said, okay, I seen the video. And in the video, this is what happened. He approached him. He said, you're going 80 in like a 55. And he says, I'm just coming from church. I think that's what he said. He said, oh, okay. Yeah, don't try to clean it up, man. Well, anyways, he ran his stuff. He says, all right, it looks like you have quite a few of these. I'm going to need you to go ahead and he said, he told him, it looks like you don't have a license and you haven't had one in a while, so I'm going to need you to step out the car. So he stepped out the car, and then he said, after further investigation, he says, what we're going to do, because you have a history of this, and this is felony level traffic stops, because you have history of this. So I'm going to have to take you with me. You're going to come with me. And he says, I can't come with you. I have to get pardoned. He's like, I can't leave with you right now, whatever. And he says, yes, you're going to come with me. I'm not negotiating with you. You're going to come with me. So the guy afterwards just loses it, runs full speed back to the car. Cop says, hey, get out the car. And before the dude could turn around with a gun or anything, the cop lit his motherfucking ass up.
God damn.
The moral of the story is this. It does not matter how much you get absolved of a crime or you get let off. Trash will go in the trash can. That's how it works. And I'm not here to be the judge and jury of someone's life. That dude did it. He was the judge and jury of his own life when he decided to storm the Capitol, which is the crime. Then he got let off from that crime. Then he committed another crime or infraction by speeding. Wouldn't you think that when you get let off from something like an insurrection that you would be behaving like an upstanding citizen after that? But no, this motherfucker had to be speeding and did not have a legal license. And he ran into the car knowing you can't evade the police. And he got blasted. I think it goes to show you, like, even with George Zimmerman, after he shot Trayvon Martin and got off with that, he was threatening his girlfriend with a gun. All kind of shit was going on with George Zimmerman. These people are terrible people. They should have been in prison and not let out. This also makes you question, why do things like pardons exist? Okay, you got to realize, like, the way the judicial system works and these pardons, I feel that these things exist so the elites can find loopholes to get themselves out of trouble. Because when you think about it, how many people have gotten in trouble with the law, and just because they had the legal representation and the money, they got off? But if you don't have the money to have a good representation, they're going to give you a plea deal, even if you're innocent. This system is bought. Motherfuckers that got the most money can get away with crimes. And pardoning people, like, that just doesn't make sense to me anymore. They need to ask Trump about this shit. Hey, man, one of the people you pardoned from the January 6th insurrection, that guy got killed by a police officer for breaking the law. Do you have any Do you have any remarks about that situation?
Yeah. I think, I think that I would say a lot of the pardons now are a little OD. Like, if you've done something illegally and it's been proven that you did it, there's like cold hard evidence that you've done something, then I just don't understand.
You got Biden pardoning his crackhead son.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You got Biden pardoning his crackhead son. You got Trump pardoning criminals. They need to take the pardons away.
Yeah, and then I think Biden like pre-pardoned like his whole family and stuff like that.
It's fucking nuts, man.
I think that's like you're just abusing
Absolutely.
Abusing that different I don't know what you call it that
Political power.
Yeah, you're just abusing that ability at that point. But yeah, the thing about it is when you have these people that are like storming the Capitol and stuff like that, these are people that are they're doing criminal activities, right? And I would imagine that this is not their first rodeo. These aren't people that are just like, I don't think they just woke up in January and just thought like, oh, you know what? We should storm the Capitol. These are people that are probably, just have done some sort of criminal activity before, because that's just not something that you just make that decision on that day of.
Right.
So I say that to say like it's only right that these like somebody that stormed the Capitol don't got a license and is driving 80 and like driving like 35 miles over the speed limit. It just makes sense because if that's just the type of person that is. So I think that I don't wish death upon anybody. I think that was like a sad situation, but I think that those type of situations, and I'm kind of switching it a little bit, those type of situations when we come to police brutality and we're having those conversations about, police shooting people, these are the situations where it's like, I completely understand. The person had a loaded gun in his car and he was planning on using that gun. So the police officer, and it seemed like a little quick situation. Like they probably watched the footage, 20 minutes, like, all right, you're good. You can come back to work tomorrow, or take some time off if you need it. If you need to, grieve or go get some mental, some therapy or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think this is one of those situations where he probably would have been better served to just be in jail the first time instead of wasting our tax dollars on cleaning up, this whole situation. So.
Yeah, man. I just think a lot of this shit is set up for politicians to protect their family and just hoard wealth. Mm-hmm. And I think Biden had mentioned that he wouldn't use his political power to abuse it.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, and then you turn around and you pardon your crackhead son. Mm-hmm. Like, let me tell you something, dog. I don't care if I'm a politician or whatever I am. If I have a child and they're a grown man and they're a fuck up, you fucked your life up. That's on you. I'm your dad. I'm not your savior. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you are and his son is like in his 50s.
Yeah.
Like, dude, your son is an old fuck up. That makes it worse. Mm-hmm. You don't protect people like that. You can't protect people like that.
There's a kind of going back to what I was saying about like criminals having a history of being criminals. This article, the headline is Criminal Records of January 6 Rioters Pardoned by Donald Trump Include Rape and Domestic Violence.
What?
So it says, while many people had no criminal record prior to committing crimes on January 6, NPR has identified dozens of defendants with prior convictions or pending charges for crimes including rape, sexual abuse of a minor, domestic violence, manslaughter, production of child sexual abuse material, and drug trafficking. So these are the people that, and they have Matthew Huddle. They have the picture of him right there. One of those defendants, Matthew Huddle, who was recently shot and killed by law enforcement in Indiana during a traffic stop just days after receiving a pardon for his role in the Capitol riot.
Crazy.
He pleaded guilty to entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds on January 6th and received a sentence of 6 months in prison. It says Huddle has an extensive criminal history that demonstrates a pattern of practice of disrespecting and disobeying the rule of the law, which is consistent with his actions on January 6th.
Yep.
In one incident, Huddle spanked his 3-year-old son so hard that it left bruises all over his child's backside.
Wow.
And the child's neck, and the child has such extreme pain on his backside that he could not sit properly for a week.
Wow.
Prosecutor said Huddle was sentenced to 2.5 years of imprisonment.
Wow. This is what the left and the right need to do. Before you pardon somebody, at least pardon somebody that has rehabilitated themselves, or a person who has a case where there's loose ends, there's things missing, a person that might be innocent. But when you're pardoning people who are clearly guilty of something, you just look fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, what was that kid that went and what was that kid that went out to some event and started shooting people? What the fuck was his name? We talked about him some years ago.
You talking about Dylan Roof?
Dylan Roof? No. No. Dylan Roof is just a mass shooter. This is the kid that I guess they considered it self-defense.
Oh, was he in like Milwaukee or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that kid that I gotta get his name. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
That little fucker.
I know who you're talking about. He had punched a girl or something like that.
Yeah, he was a woman. He's fucking woman beater.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find his name. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, there we go.
Kyle Rittenhouse. He was going to these conservative conventions. Everybody was clapping for him, and they're like, he defended himself, and in my opinion, he's a great American. It's like, it's a video of him hitting a girl. You don't fucking uplift no little punk ass pussy like that because you hitting a girl because you can't fight. That's why you shooting motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. It's one thing that you should be able to defend yourself with a firearm regardless. However, you over there hitting a girl, bro, that says a lot about your character.
Yeah.
That's the most anti-American thing you could do is beat on women. What's some other things too?
I mean, that might be American.
What do you mean?
That might be right up our alley.
Just like obesity?
Domestic violence, yeah. That might be something that they rock with. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that's just like, they probably stopping it or cutting down on it now, but definitely like in the 60s and 70s, I was just regular.
Yeah, a lot of these dudes was beating ass.
Yeah.
Damn,
sure.
That's crazy. Yeah, women be like, I want a traditional man like in the 50s. You'd be like, yeah, he'll pay your bills, but he'll black that eye like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Blacking that eye.
And about to go cheat.
He's like, don't you ever no, I'd be like this. Don't you ever try to stop me from getting pussy again. Do you understand me?
Marianne Beth, I'm going to go get me some pussy, so get out of my way.
That's bad. Especially the name placement was perfect. Back then they had names like Listen Here, Judith Meredith, Gentoyeth. I need some head. You better get out of my face right now. Some of these motherfuckers are terrible. Some of these guys are terrible fucking people.
Oh, for sure.
The thing about it is things like the patriarchy and whatnot, these are real things. I think that in a lot of cases now it's a lot better for women, but there was a time where if the police showed up to your door and there was a domestic dispute, they didn't even want to talk to the wife. They wanted to talk to the man of the house. That's
crazy, ain't it?
And it's the truth though. Like they'll be like, hey, we need to speak to the man. He could have just got through whooping her ass. And the cop's like, we don't want to talk to you. We need to talk to the husband. Ma'am, were you disrespecting your husband?
Damn.
Is that why this happened, ma'am? It was like, damn.
A lot of times, too, it wasn't even like it wasn't a call. I mean, now, still, there's a lot of people that don't call. But, yeah, definitely back then, they just dealt with it, put some ice on their eye and then just went to sleep.
Yeah. There was a show that, like, highlighted, like, a certain landscape in America where there was this cop that was being pretty racist towards this black man and his wife, but it was also sexist, like very sexist what he did, because there was some noise and they went to the door and the wife answered the door and he looked at her and says, ma'am, I need to speak to the husband.
Dang.
Like right off the top. I was like, damn.
That's a trip.
Yeah, we made some strides, man. We got work to do in certain areas, but god damn. Man.
Yeah, man.
I wonder, is that why they call those shirts wife beaters? Is that was that like the shirt?
That was a uniform?
Yeah, was that like the uniform for, men that beat their wife after a 12-hour shift? God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a terrible time, man. People are going to think we highlighting freaking domestic violence now.
Yeah. I guess the technical term is like a shirt.
Really?
Yeah. Technically. But wife beater is like a nickname, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like calling it that.
Yeah, I don't call it a wife beater.
I don't beat women. I wear tank tops. What does it say here? Oh, as far as the recidivism rates. Recidivism rates vary by state or over time, but generally indicate a likelihood of a person reoffending after being released from prison. So here it is. This is crazy. In 2023, 43% of people released from state prisons were rearrested within 1 year. Nigga, that's almost half. God damn.
Yeah, criminals gone criminal, man. That's what it is. So
God damn.
yeah. And I imagine if that was those people that have been pardoned, like if that was the first time they've done something like that, they'll probably be in a situation.
That's
again.
That's one thing about a wife beater. They're gonna beat a wife.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
That's bad.
The guy was Huddle. He was like a real alcoholic. He's been caught drinking and driving a bunch of times.
These pardons, I think these pardons, you need to do your due diligence. It's just proving that the government, or that what Trump just did. Now, here's the difference. Both things are not good. Joe Biden knows his son's a piece of shit, and you pardoned him, and you pardoned your family where they're probably pieces of shit. Trump pardoned pieces of shit, didn't even do his research.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a kid that's beating. This guy is beating on his kids and shit.
Yeah.
And he's a repeat offender, and you pardon this guy.
Yeah, I would say I don't think you should do away with pardons. I just think that I think it just needs to go through like a different system. Like, and I don't know what that system is, but let's say, for example, let's say you and I, we go and after George Floyd died, we're like protesting or something like that. And we do a protest that's not necessarily like legal, maybe. Like maybe we go to the police, like say on the side of the wall, we draw like a huge mural of George Floyd, and then we kind of get arrested. Now we're like this martyr or whatever the case may be. And then we ended up being on the right side of history. You know what I mean? Because they changed the laws and everything like that. But we got a criminal record, and now we can't like get a job or whatever the case. I think like things like that are like what the pardons are reserved for. But if you just do something just outright illegal, for no real cause, like that would be like us just like throwing a freaking bomb in the freaking police department when that happens. That's a completely different thing.
The issue with protests is people are not aligned a lot of times on protests. You got people that are protesting, but they're protesting differently. There's no real unity. Like there'll be a person that'll be like, "Free Palestine." They'll be holding a sign, or somebody might be standing next to a wall, and then next to them, somebody spray painting a dick on the police department's wall. And it's like, why you spray painting dicks, man?
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like, not everything is aligned. Yeah, you're always gonna have like the ignorant version of whatever. Like, I know a guy, kind of going back to the mural thing. Like, I know a guy. He's like a really talented. They're called muralist. He's like a really talented artist. But I wouldn't consider him like a graffiti artist because he draws like huge murals of like just dope art.
Right. And
then I'll be driving on the freeway and I see like a stupid spray painted like name that says Ghost, and I'm like, you're like, this is a beautiful new freeway. And you're over here writing a stupid.
I low key when I see that, I'll be like, oh, you a hater. You a hater. You could have sprayed that shit anywhere else. You had to this beautiful mural. You had to put that bullshit on it. Like, it should be more respect. I think it should be a general respect amongst taggers, because it's taggers that they really got tag games for real. But
they'll do it in places where it may not be like ideal, because graffiti is graffiti. But like you said, there's a lot of hate. Like, say for example, I got like a new store. Like, I got a new little clothing store or whatever. I sell wife beaters in there. And then I sell like cologne, or so just something like a basic t-shirt outlet or something like that. And then I got the grand opening. Knowing niggas in Bakersfield, like, it'll somehow end up having like some graffiti, like some dumb tagging name on there or something like that. That's like hate right there. But I feel like if you're doing it like on the freeway and it's like creative and you really take the time to like get good at it, then that's a different story. Sometimes like graffiti is just part of this, like, the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people would just be tagging shit, don't make no sense. It'll be like eating ass, making cash, and then they'll sign a signature, Rodrigo. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
what is this, man?
Yeah.
I think the best graffiti I've seen recently was actually in Long Beach. You know how those trains have those carts, right? And how people like those carts go all over the country.
Yeah.
And this shit looked like it was some New York shit.
Yeah.
It was the top to the bottom sprayed down. But it was like an ocean and like characters and shit. I was like, God damn, this is crazy.
That's like not the norm. The norm is like, like some graffiti artist named Lysol, and he's just like spraying his name everywhere.
In Bakersfield, one of the back in the day, some of the tagger gangs was real like known. Like people used to tag Loma everywhere, like Loma Bakers.
Yeah, they still be having the gang stuff.
Yeah, or it'll be like SED fuck said whatever.
But the thing with that though is like I know that stuff is like some dumb high school kid that's just. I don't know if no grown man is out here putting up WS like around Bakersfield.
I don't know, man. You'd be surprised. Another one that was big in the 90s was KAH, K-A-H, Killer Hoe. That's what it meant.
Really?
Yeah, I used to see KAH sprayed everywhere, all over Bakersfield. K-A-H.
That's crazy.
I'm like, okay, all right, you guys are making a name for yourself.
Yeah, I'll be seeing a little gang thing. Like the only reason I say that is because there was a video of I think his name is Cowboy. He's like a roller 60s Crip. He's the one he wears like the little cowboy hats or whatever. And there was a video of him, and he was like in the neighborhood in like the rolling 60s neighborhood, and there was some kid that was like tagging on and he approached him like, yo, you don't even know what you're doing. Like you ain't killed nobody from that hood. Like you causing trouble for us over here, and you ain't even really about that life. So that led me to think like it's probably a bunch of these. Like when you see in that little gang affiliated thing, I just don't imagine no 50-year-old OG or 40-year-old OG out there like spray paint.
They had to get that situation fixed. That Kendrick mural that got whacked out because somebody really sprayed on it. And it was some people that was in the streets that mentioned they knew who it was that did it. I guess somebody said it was what do they call them, tortilla flats.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I never heard of that gang before, but that's what I heard.
They've been around a minute apparently, but. It could have been Drake, man. Drake could have got somebody to do that.
Yeah.
He's like, niggas don't know that I whacked out his mural. I feel like that seemed like some shit Drake would do. And then he like put like a line in there.
He been playing, he do be playing like little games like that. I don't know if he necessarily did that, but he been doing a thing on the Joe Budden podcast where he sent he actually mentioned her in the song.
Yeah.
And then he sent her like flowers and stuff like that. Yeah. So he be doing little slick stuff like that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm still on tour and my stadium's getting packed out. The mural's getting whacked out. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. He just canceled his tour, his Australian tour.
Oh yeah, I don't think he rescheduled it.
I don't think they rescheduled it yet.
They didn't.
Yeah, but he said it was like a scheduling conflict or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't really have much. I think Drake is super dope still, but I just don't have a lot of interest in anything else he does outside of music. And if his music's not great, then he's got 2 songs on that album that he released.
You mess with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Nokia song is very catchy.
Yeah, I think so.
I think once I heard that, I was like, yeah, the women are really gonna love this shit too.
Yeah, Drake is definitely like he just. I think he be experimenting a lot, which is like good and bad. You never want to like box yourself in, but I think he's always good for one of them, like a Hotline Bling, like a Nokia. Like he's always good for making them kind of little pop records like that.
Yeah. Nokia kind of took me back because it had that little ringtone in the background. That shit was crazy. I think the line that gets me every time is like, baby girl. Down, 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 down. Baby girl.
Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow. Yeah. That was like the second half of that song is super dope.
Yeah, I mess with that song. Yeah. Shout out to Drake.
Shout out to Drake, man. All right. Switching gears. Trump's social media video garners pushback. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this recently, but Donald Trump had a post that talked about, it was basically a Trump Gaza post. And it's this little AI generated video, and it's got like a golden statue of him, and it's got like Elon's in the video, and he's throwing money in the air, and there are people from Gaza that are walking away from war-torn land and walking into this Trump oasis. Almost as if Trump is the savior of Gaza. It is the most twisted shit. I'm not here to, me and Keith don't really get into political conversations just because I just feel like that shit is above me. I'm just living my life as a person. I don't really give a fuck. But I mean, you could play the post, just give people an idea.
Yeah, let me play a little bit of the song. Let me see. Because it's like a song that goes with it.
Yeah, it's a Trump Gaza song. Trump Gaza #1, whatever.
You free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, a golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright.
That's up right there.
Yeah, that's just super distasteful. And you got basically a fucking genocide going on, and a lot of children and families dying, and you make an AI generated video of people leaving a war-torn land to go into a Trump oasis with a golden Trump statue. This is like beyond ego.
Right.
This is like beyond narcissism. It is just distasteful, especially as the sitting president of the United States. And by the way, Elon is involved in, who's the real fucking vice president? Is it Elon or JD Vance? This motherfucker Elon got his dick sucking ass all over the place. And I'm like, man, I just don't care. And what bothers me is you deporting immigrants, and an immigrant is in the motherfucking White House.
Yeah.
That's backwards, y'all. You know, but me personally, I don't want to speak to any of my gripes with all these people. I just will simply say it doesn't matter who did it. If it was, you know, Biden coming out with some AI generated bullshit, or Obama or whatever, it's distasteful. In a situation where, okay, can you imagine if somebody, okay, here we go. If Gaza or I don't know, just say another country, had an AI generated video of 9/11, and on 9/11,
maybe China, like China.
Huh?
China.
Yeah, maybe like China. Dang, your throat is going crazy. That you can hear it through the goddamn microphone. That shit sound crazy.
Yeah, I got an active throat.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. All right, Keith. All right. I'll just let people interpret that however they like to take it. It is Keith's birthday. We're going to let that shit slide today. All right. But no, imagine if China had an AI-related video of a plane about to hit the second tower, but instead, like, China saves it and saves it from hitting the World Trade Center.
Imagine like Yao Ming gets the rebound.
Yao Ming grabs the plane and fucking pulls it down from hitting the building.
And he just getting like a 3-point stance with the airplane.
Oh yeah, if China did an AI generated video like that of, you know, innocent Americans dying, but making light of it, Trump would be like, we don't play about our American citizens, and we don't play about 9/11. Yeah. I was there as the planes were crashing into the building. They were crashing through the snow like Christmas.
Yeah.
One horse open sleigh. It's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, that's the thing, man. That's why I don't try to oversaturate myself in politics, because these people are just living in a different reality than us.
Yeah. I just think one thing I realize about certain people is, like, some people are just so unserious.
Right.
Like, I don't think Donald Trump takes any of this serious. I think this is all one big show. This is all reality TV for him. So it's kind of hard to take him serious when he posts. I mean, when he says anything, but posting stuff like this, it's like you can't really psychoanalyze Trump, because he's just Trump. Like, you know what I mean? You could just run circles around why he's doing certain things, if the things that he's doing are wrong or right. It's just a million ways that you could take it. But I just think like, without kind of like reiterating what everybody else says and like what we've said multiple times about Donald Trump, is just like, it's just all ego, dog. Like you're I don't know if he created that or not. I don't know if somebody sent that to him, whatever the case may be, but that's just a weird thing to post. I think it's one thing to, support like a country rebuilding itself, and like
Absolutely.
if you did have like a oasis out there, like after all the war and all these things, like you just posted a utopia kind of situation where these beautiful trees and things like that. But to make it about yourself is extremely weird. But I say that also to say, like, I think that there's probably a situation where he sees it as a money play. Like, oh, okay, I could get in there. I could put some Trump towers in there. I can, start to build the community, and that's just another, economic advantage that I can have and to add to my portfolio.
Yeah, it's kind of sick. It's really sick to think of somebody's despair as a business opportunity. Mm-hmm. I think that's where we have a big problem. It's like, can you imagine? They've already done the demolitions there. If you put a building or casino in Gaza, can you imagine how much that's going to save us money? Mm-hmm. You'd be like, dude, you got to be a twisted motherfucker to see a business out of that. And then to make yourself the savior is the sitting president doing this. Mm-hmm. Not okay, man. This is my thing. Whenever the Democrats are in office and they do something distasteful or they do something that is criminal, whatever the case, I'm the first to admit it, even though I'm a more left-leaning person. I just need y'all to get Trump's dick out of your mouth and admit when he does something foolish. A lot of you motherfuckers like, I want America to be great. I do too, but I want people to be accountable for what they've done. A lot of y'all voted for this, bro. Like, truth be told, both candidates were not the greatest. But now we are seeing what this motherfucker is doing. I'll be the first also when Trump does something decent to be like, hey, man, this is dope. Like that check for $5,000. We just talked about that. I was like, shit, the American people could use $5,000.
Yeah, but it also hasn't happened, though.
It also has not happened.
Yeah.
So we can use $5,000, but we have not gotten it. In addition to, we do not need AI videos of a war-torn country, a genocide, and somebody making light of it. Like, that's what we do not fucking need. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, I don't got too much else to offer this conversation.
Yeah. Trump, sit down, dog.
You got to stop, brother. You got to stop.
Yeah. I think his presidency so far, I think the whole, what do you call it? The Department of, what is it?
DOJ, Department of Justice?
Yeah. No. The DOJ,
Doge.
The government efficiency, Department of Government Efficiency. Mm-hmm. I think that I like the idea of it, but just a lot of people are losing their jobs, so it's kind of like doing it's reverse effect of what you're trying.
Yeah, but here's the conflict of interest. On X, it was some months back, but on X, Elon Musk had Trump as a guest on basically like a podcast. I listened to as much of it as I could.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there was like some humor-filled conversations of like cutting people or laying people off, right? Mm-hmm. Or firing people. Mm-hmm. And there was like humor, shared humor back and forth. Mm-hmm. And for a country that claims, or for a president that claims he wants to, put Americans to work and have American jobs, it sure is a lot of motherfuckers losing jobs right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of motherfuckers losing jobs.
Yeah, I think that's the irony. But I also think there is a version of it where you can go in and like, I think, like, say for example at Walmart, you see like there is like more self-checkouts at these things. Mm-hmm. If I'm a business owner that is like more efficient, it gets people out of the stores. Obviously, you're losing the the human to human connection when it comes to people checking out themselves. And you sometimes can go into Walmart and you're not talking to anybody, which is kind of, a new, like a 2020 whatever thing. So I think that on one end, I can see why if you go into the, like, say, for example, I do a walkthrough of, government, building, and, I'm seeing all these people working, and then I'm seeing somebody twiddling their thumbs and they're making $200,000 a year. And I'm seeing this person that's like, maybe does a little bit of work, but that work can be replaced by, AI or some sort of computer. And, they're just kind of milking the system. So same thing. We talked about those people at the ports who are, taking their sweet time to do everything. It's lines of trucks, backed up for miles. And these people are taking lunches when they can, be doing like stuff like that. I think that's where, this sort of government efficiency thing comes in, and it technically helps us save money. So I kind of like it in that aspect. But again, like, there's a lot of real people that are losing their jobs, and that's never a good thing. So I don't know. It goes both ways. At the same time, if they could kick us back 5 racks for just them saving money in the government, I think the thing that I would say is I have empathy for people losing their jobs. But if somebody has to lose their job for me to personally get $5,000, I'm not gonna be like, no, don't give me $5,000. They can keep their jobs. Like, I need that money. Shoot.
I'm gonna spend the money very slowly. I'll get the $5K and be like, look here, I'm only gonna spend $2,500 out of respect for the people that lost their jobs, and then I will spend the other $2,500 afterwards.
That's like the money spending version of like pouring out some liquor for like the dead homies. Like,
I don't know. The inflation too high. Ain't nobody pouring out nothing for the dead homies now.
Yeah, they drinking it all. Shit.
They're gonna get the little cap. They're gonna take the 40 off and pour a little bit of beer in that cap and be like, just for the homie right here.
Niggas don't be having no dead homies and still be pouring out liquor.
Yeah, it's like, bro, just pour the poison in your mouth.
Just drink it.
Just drink the goddamn poison, man. Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. But there's that, man. All right, switching gears. Let's go ahead and wrap this shit up. All right, Black Sam, Marathon Burger just launched, and as you all know, the Marathon, the brand in itself is Nipsey Hussle. Let me go ahead and click on this here. They just recently had a grand opening. Big Boy was there. All the the staples in Los Angeles. Big Boy, DJ Head, Bootleg Kev. I'm sure Letty Martinez was there. Jorge, I forgot his last name.
Peniche.
Jorge Peniche was there. So they was there at the grand opening. But there was a little bit of negative energy that popped up. And I'll go ahead and read that to you here. And this is what it said. Basically, oh Lord. Okay, there was a dude. His name is Rockstar 2800. That's his IG.
That's what he goes by. That's like his nickname.
That's his nickname? Okay. Well, basically it says, the beef between Wack 100 and Black Sam has been ongoing since Nipsey's death. One of the main points of contention arose when Black Sam demanded the removal of Nipsey's feature from the Game's album, Drillmatic Heart vs. Mine, shortly before his release. Wack 100, who manages the Game, accused Black Sam of being selfish with his anger and letting emotions interfere with business decisions. Wack argued that collaborations would have contributed to Nipsey's legacy and generated royalties for his children. While Black Sam has been protective of his brother's unreleased music, the tension between the two has continued, with Wack 100 criticizing Black Sam's handling of Nipsey's posthumous music catalog. Wack claimed that Nipsey has 80 unreleased tracks and that Sam has missed opportunities to release new music. Following the incident, Rockstar 2800, who's also a rapper with ties to South Central's Los Angeles and Phoenix, Arizona, posted, "Damn, all the nigga wanted was a burger." Basically, the guy, Rockstar 2800, is a Crip, but he claimed to be cool with Nipsey, but he's hanging around a guy named Wack 100, who is a Blood, to my belief, right? but he has been speaking very badly about Nipsey Hussle, saying like he got a sex tape out with Nipsey in it, doing crazy stuff or whatever. And he just has some really weird shit to say about Nipsey Hussle. None of it has came to light, but he's still doing it. And that guy is like cool with Whack 100. So
they do a lot of Clubhouse interviews, conversations and stuff like that together.
To make a long story short, for people who don't know who any of these fucking people are, that guy, Rockstar 2800, showed up to the grand opening of Marathon Burger, and Black Sam, Nipsey's brother, said, hey, you got to get up out of here. Anybody that's speaking bad about my brother like that and you're not checking them, you can't come around here. And this is not just some gangster shit or some hood shit. This is real life shit. If you got a brother or a sister or your father or anybody that died and somebody is talking bad about them and a friend of the family continues to hang with them, you're no friend of mine no more. Mm-hmm. You're no friend of mine. Like, man, that's like imagine your motherfucking brother or sister die and somebody talking bad about them and somebody that's supposed to be cool with you is just coming around you and allowing that to, man, fuck you and them. I don't want you around here. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. And it's about respecting and protecting the integrity of the name. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something, dog. I'm not a violent person at all. But if somebody is speaking crazy about my dad, right? Mm-hmm. And they just talking crazy, like, man, he's stupid, man. He was this, he was that. I'm just gonna slap the fuck out of you. I'm not gonna warn you nothing. Mm-hmm. Because you sidelined me with talking bad about my dad for no reason. Like, I'm supposed to be cool with it. Mm-hmm. So I'm about to go upside your head and then tell you why I did it after I slapped the fuck out you.
Right.
Watch your mouth. Mm-hmm. And if you're supposed to be cool with somebody, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be no conditions to that. Mm-hmm. My best friend of 23 years, it was this one dude that was just starting to talk. He was like, oh, he be doing this, or he was doing that. I said, hey, I just want to remind you, that's my brother. That's my brother, man. That's my guy. He was like, oh, no, it ain't like that. I said, everything you saying, I'm going to go tell him. Mm-hmm. Or you could tell him yourself, but like, you know, I can't let you rock like that, bro. He's like, I know y'all cool. I'm just saying. I'm just like, nah, I hear you, but don't play that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll slap the fuck out of you, too. Don't do that.
Yeah. I think, like you said, it is like some political stuff. But the situation is not really like gang related.
Right.
Like when you hear Black Sam, you know, he's talking like very passionately to Rockstar. He's more so saying like, dog, like my brother passed away and you are on, I think, like you're kind of like affiliated with somebody who's like talking crazy about my brother who died. You know what I mean? Insane. Tragically. So it's like, don't come around here trying to be cool, acting like, you know, you cool. And you could tell they know each other because like, obviously they're having that conversation. But, you know, he's just like, yo, don't come around here like trying to like be buddy with me when you on Clubhouse and doing interviews and on these little rooms, like, you know, talking to this person that be saying crazy stuff about my brother. So I completely understand. I think a lot of people have a habit of, you know, and that's Wack's job in a sense. Like, not that it's like a good way of going about business, but he just has a way of just like talking about things, right. Whether it's Kendrick or whatever. Like, he's just always kind of like 50 Cent. It could be Jay-Z, anybody. He has a way of like talking about, you know, these situations, and he always kind of plays it as if he has like some sort of like insider information and videos and footage and like USB sticks with information and stuff on there. So I just think like I completely understand. I completely understand the passion that Black Sam approached that man with, and the way. So I watched DJ Academics had him on there. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but he had the guy. He caught the guy on his show, and the guy was explaining his side of the story. He was basically saying like, it's just content. Like, you know, this is content. It helps me grow my brand, and you know, I interview different people, and Whack 100 is just a person that I kind of do content and get money with kind of situation. But some people live that life, like content over everything. But I just think like it's not really worth it. If Nipsey Hussle is my friend, and this guy Rockstar claims that he's known him since he was 13, and he's like a mentor to him and stuff like
right.
that. If that's like your, somebody that you claim to be like a mentor and you had a lot of love for and a lot of affinity for, you should either address the situation or not mess with dude.
Absolutely.
Like I just don't really see that. And I think that, like we said, this ain't even about gangs or anything like that. That's just like a human being. So yeah, that's my spiel on it.
Yeah, I just, you don't let somebody play with somebody's name.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't it, man. I'm sure anybody listens to this pod that has lost somebody, even if you're not a violent person, you at least gonna check that person and say, hey man, you can't, you're not gonna do that.
Right.
Yeah,
100%.
You're not gonna do that. And more importantly, man, somebody getting a business off the ground, when they tell you to leave, leave. I don't care if you feel you didn't do nothing wrong. Get your sorry ass out of there. Oh, man, all I wanted was a burger. You should have not resisted. When you're not wanted in a space, leave. I don't care how much it hurts you. I don't care if it's your girl or your wife, and she's like, I don't want you anymore. I'm done. Leave her alone. There is no need for you to be sticking around. I don't give a fuck how bad it hurts, whatever. Leave. When a person states verbally they don't want you there, grab your shit and go. Because anything you do after that is begging. And begging is not respected anywhere. And he was like, man, I want to be here because I want to support. Or I want to do, like, bro, shut the fuck up, man. You know you've done something that you should have not fucking done.
I mean, he was welcome back. He just had to go address Wack first, and then he was welcome back. He could get a burger after that.
Yeah, even dogs know. Even dogs know when they've done something wrong. You ever like seen a dog chew up a couch or do some shit, and you be like, did you do this, bro? What are you doing? And the dog will be like, looking around like, no, nigga, you know what the fuck you did. Even the dog's actions are aligned with what they've done wrong. They know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So don't act like you don't know what's going on.
I would say like in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of like, a lot of that going on because it's like it's all like Hollywood, right? You know what I mean? And it's all like fake like relationships and stuff like that,
right?
But I just think for me personally, like there are people that I just wouldn't really rock with or do business with or whatever, just simply based off of the way that they've treated one of my friends. Like there are a lot of artists, say for example, and I'm not gonna say no names, but there are like rappers and record labels and engineers and things like that have not paid either myself or like my boy Blue, who has directed music videos and stuff like that. So if it was ever a situation where they hit us up like, yo, I would like to bring such and such on the podcast, you know, like, you know, they're dropping an album, whatever the case may be, I'd be like, no, like y'all gotta square that away first. Like you gotta get right with my boy, pay him what he's owed.
Absolutely.
And then maybe we could talk about it. So that's how I feel. Or if they try to approach me like, hey, you know, would you do this or would you do that? Or, you know, this person wants to do this. I'm like, nope, you got to figure that out. And a lot of the times it'd be a simple fix. I think even what Black Sam was saying was like, you know, I'm not, like, I don't got no beef with you, but at the same time, it just looked weird for me to be all buddy-buddy with you while you hanging around somebody that we don't mess with.
Yeah. I'll say this too, man. I just got my train of thought. Damn it. I had something I was going to say. Fuck. That's the thing that sucks, though, man. When you got this gene, it'll come back to me. Yeah. In a second.
That's 40 for you, boy.
Yeah. I don't want to blame it on age. It just happens sometimes. You know, I was about to interject, and then you started another sentence, and I was just waiting. I was like, God damn it. Nah. But, yeah, I just say there's a certain moral code that you got to live by, man. Oh, this is what I was going to say. The reason why it's important to treat people right in all situations is because you have no idea who the fuck you're dealing with.
Right.
And that's what I mean by that. When you don't pay people, let's say you have them come out for a video shoot and you don't pay them. And this is like your business. You act like everyone should be doing you a favor because you're a person with this statue or access, right? And you keep doing this over the years. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. And then one of the people you did it to, I won't say outwork you, but they outstar you. Now they become somebody that's huge. Yeah. And then they cut all your business off. Because what happens is ultimately is the person that you don't pay or you don't treat right, they could become somebody important. And when that person gets influence in your space, they'll tell everybody, hey, Eddie didn't pay me any money when I worked out there. Or he talked bad to me and my friends when we went to help him. You know, I really wouldn't work with that guy. That's how life works, man. Everything comes back. That's why you need to treat people right, because it's the right thing to do, but also because that shit comes back, man. I've never seen somebody treat some people bad for years and then they just get away with it. It always comes back. You always lose everything too. Always.
Yeah.
Diddy was man, can you imagine how high on the hog Diddy was when he oiling up them booty holes and he got people naked up in there and people on drugs. He doing this shit for years and it crashed. R. Kelly with these underage, all this shit that happened. Bro, can you imagine how high on the pedestal they felt when they was doing all this illegal shit?
Yeah.
You know, the Epsteins, all these people doing this shit, and then it crashed. They probably never thought they was gonna get busted. But that's what happens, man. There's never a right way to do the wrong thing.
It happens to everybody, man. Like
Jess Hilarious talked about that with Master P. She said that she didn't get paid for the role she played in the movie, and she stood on business. And Master P was like, no, it wasn't like that, you know, this and that. I don't know all the ins and outs, but there's a couple people that said the same thing about Master P.
Like they didn't get paid.
That they didn't get paid. And Jess Hilarious said, I'm not out here trying to put you on blast, or, you know, I appreciate the opportunity, but you didn't pay me a dime. I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And
it happens. Like I mean, I'm speaking from my own experience, but I know like there's certain things we've done, like with certain names in there, you know what I mean? And we haven't got paid for it. And it's just like, and people would continue living their life. And these are people that's like pulling up in new cars with bust down chains on, and like they got the bread to pay, but it's like, you know, that's just the way they're rocking.
Man, let me tell you something. And this is a blanket statement that I'm about to make. And I ain't say no names. But if you know that you owe people money and you don't pay them, or you don't feel like you need to pay them, you a piece of shit. Bottom line, you deserve to have every blessing you got need to be taken away from your bitch ass. Because if you're not paying people for their time, or I would basically, if let's say I had a video shoot, I'll be like, I'm not leaving here till I know that everybody got paid. Because I'm not going to have nobody leaving here saying they didn't get paid by Eddie McGee. Everybody going to get paid. Imagine me and Keith get production, right? And we got people that's, you know, doing, you know, the camera work, and they're doing the lighting, and they're doing all this stuff for us. When it comes time to get paid, I want to make sure that everybody got the proper invoice and money, because I'm not going to have nobody talking shit about me. You're going to get paid for your time. I don't care if you had to go across town to get this or grab that. I'm going to pay you for that. So you understand that when you leave, it was your ass that fucked it up, not me. Okay? But when you do bad business, you don't care about paying people. You think you doing them a favor. Like, nah, that's not how business works.
No, that's fact.
And if you think that that's how business works, keep doing that shit. Keep not paying people for their time. Keep not doing that, and then it's all gonna crash. All of it.
Yeah, man. I think that's it. Switching gears a little bit, I definitely want to try the Marathon Burger. I just got a hunch that it's probably gonna be good.
Yeah, even if it's not the greatest, if it's decent, I just want to show some support.
Yeah.
You know, a nigga be eating burgers anyways. Why the fuck I can't just go over there? Somebody was complaining about the price. It was like $20 for a combo.
That's like Fat Burger. Like, you gonna pay that same price at Fat Burger.
Nigga, you gonna pay that at McDonald's damn near.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is real meat. This is Wagyu beef. So I'd rather go and at least get real product and fries and shit.
Yeah, is it at the same? Is it in that same square over there, or is it somewhere different?
No, I think it's in West Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's dope.
Let me look it up just to make sure. Marathon Burger. You know what's dope about it too? There's gonna be people from different states that come to go to Marathon Burger.
Yeah,
because that's what type of fan base and loyalty that people have for Nipsey.
Celebrities pulling up for sure.
Yeah, it says $20 to $30 is what it's showing. I don't care. I'll pay for it.
For a meal?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll pay for it. It doesn't bother me to do that. It is. It's in Melrose Avenue.
They got good ratings, like 4.3 stars.
I'm pretty sure Black Sam take that type of shit serious too.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's what I would say. Like when you're talking about the catalog and stuff like that, like he really cares about his brother's legacy. He not out here he not chasing chicken. He not out here just trying to put some stuff out just for the sake of like, I'm trying to get rich off of my brother's name. Like, so for however long it took them to put this store together, I feel like he would take the time to do it the right way. So shout out to Black Sam, man.
I'm looking at it's like it's in a solid spot, man.
Yeah, Melrose 7. Yeah, they got decent store hours too. What's the name went there? Keith Lee?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He said,
that's fine.
"This is a good burger." I mean, it's nothing out of the norm, but it is a good burger.
Yeah,
I was like, that's cool, man. Marathon Burger. I think I already follow them.
that's dope, dude.
I think they need to open I think Bakersfield would be a good test market.
Yeah, I think so too. If they do like a little franchise,
I think
deal.
it would, because you got to understand. And why is Eddie saying that Marathon Burger would be a good place in Bakersfield? Because Exhibit has a dirt dog out here in Bakersfield.
Mm-hmm.
It's inside of Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But he decided to bring it here, and this is only his second location.
They do a lot of testing, like
Yeah.
different things here. So
Let me see.
that's dope.
Dirt Dog LA. Yeah, let's see. No, they got one in Vegas too. Dirt Dog Vegas. They got Dirt Dog LA, and they got Dirt Dog Bakersfield. So out of 3 locations, one of them is here. Like, that's a big deal.
Hey, I seen this kid. He looked. He was like a high school kid. He go to Ridgeview, and he looked like Nipsey Hussle. And it was so weird because like we just like seen it. It was like, oh, this nigga like he looked like Nipsey Hussle. But it was even more weird because he got a full beard. Like, a Nip, like, later on, he started to have a little full beard.
Yeah.
So the dude had braids with the full beard and, like, dang near was walking like Nipsey Hussle. So this is
Like, I love.
like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah. Was it Indian?
Nah, he was black.
He's black?
Yeah.
But, like, Nipsey was black, obviously, but he had that Eritrean look.
Yeah.
Like, you knew he was something besides just regular black dude.
Yeah, that like Northern African.
Yeah, exactly. And they, what's crazy? They all look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Eritrean people, they look like Nipsey, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is a trip.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, look here, man. If you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
And we out of here.
Peace.